Need a car similar to the likes of the Toyota Vios, but you find that car a little bit too common and a little bit too flimsy feeling, then you can try out one of these. Here we have the 2019 Hyundai Reina Automatic. Then I'm going to show you around this car. I'm also going to give it a test drive, so stay tuned. I'd like to thank our video sponsor, automotive.com. automotive.com is a website that sells car parts and accessories. They're kind enough to send me this one right here, the Pegasus Lights Attack V2 LED headlights. Now, I received one from them before, which I installed in my LC90 Prado, the Land Cruiser, but they sent me another one, which I shall install later on. They also sent me a couple of stuff like tail bulbs and P10 light bulbs, which you can use for your plate number or your interior lights, so they are quite handy. They also sent me some tire gel right here and an all-purpose cleaner. Styling wise, there's really not much to talk about with the Hyundai Reina. I mean, up top on the hood, you do get some sort of lines on either side. You get a blacked out grille. You get one of the biggest lights I've seen on any car. This part here, you don't even get fog lights. You only get like some fake vents over there. Then on the side of the car, you don't even get rims on this one. You only get 14-inch steelies. And the most you're gonna get here are 2 character lines and a repeater. Going towards the rear overhang of the car, it is very short, but it's still not as short as the Suzuki Desire. So it doesn't look like it was just put there for, well, because they didn't really have a choice. Towards the back of the Reina, you get really big lights, you get a Reina badge, and you get a wavy looking trunk that honestly looks kind of odd because it's a little bit too blank. Your plate number is also way down below. To open this trunk up, you just use your flip key, you insert it in this weird hole right dead center, open it up, and you reveal a trunk that's actually surprisingly big for its segment. Then as you open this one up, you also get a space saver spare tire. Under the hood of this Hyundai Reina, you have this 1.4 liter inline-4 gasoline engine making 95 horsepower and 132 newton-meters of torque. Now this makes just a little bit less power than a Toyota Vios. However, it makes around 12 horsepower more than the Suzuki Desire and the Mitsubishi Mirage. Inside the Hyundai Reina, first check the door thud. It's not the best sounding, but it does sound a lot more robust than a Vios. So let's start the car up. You don't get push button. Okay, sounds decent. Now in here, the cabin of it feels similar still to a Vios, but quality-wise, it's just a little bit higher than it. So although you do get hard-touch plastic on the sides and on the dashboard, they feel a little bit better. Your steering wheel's wrapped in urethane, nothing fancy about that. There's no controls either. It's only tiltable, so you can't really telescope the steering wheel. What a shame. Your instrument cluster is also very basic. It's backlit, and you have a tiny screen in the middle. To the center of everything, you get these weirdly shaped air vents. Below that, you get a very basic 1-DIN head unit. It has Bluetooth though, and although this car only gets 2 speakers, I can assure you this is probably the best sounding speakers in any car under 1 million pesos. A bunch of cubby holes over here, manual AC switches, and what's odd about this car is that you get your power window switches here in the middle, quite similar to what you would get in a Jeep Wrangler, instead of having it here on the door sides. But what that means is that it freed up the door side so that you can put basically anything in there. To the center, again, you have another big cubby, a 12-volt outlet, and this gear selector. It sounds very robust. This is not something you typically get with a car at this price point. A manual handbrake, more cubbies, and another bigger cubby here at the back. The seats themselves, they are really soft. It kind of lacks a little bit of support though, but they are pretty soft, so good for short journeys, probably not for long journeys. The back of the Reina, door thud check. Yes, about the same as the front. Here at the back, you don't have the same central power window switches, so you have it in its conventional position on the side of the doors. Then the best way to describe this back seat is it's the back seat of a car. It has seats. There's literally nothing here at all. You don't even have map pockets, you don't have your own air vents, and you don't even have an armrest. I mean, how more basic could it be? Can you see 3 people back here? Thankfully, yes, you can easily do that, although the center seat is pretty narrow, so your butt cheeks will kind of have to balance itself on it, but at least footwell is pretty good, and it doesn't have a very big transmission tunnel. Now, if there's one interesting feature about these back seats is that they remind me of like an older BMW 3 Series, no, sorry, a 7 Series BMW even, and how the seats are kind of angled up like this, so your thighs are a bit higher than your hips. This car feels a little bit more robust than your typical Vios. The seats on this one are definitely way better than the Vios. You get so much more side support, lateral support than the Vios, and the seats seem to be a lot softer too. It's not firm in any way, which I could foresee to be a little bit of a problem in long journeys, but for short city driving, these types of soft seat are pretty good. Out of straight, if you want to hustle this car, put your foot down on the floor. Yes, it makes a pretty good sound, this one, and we're almost up to 100 like that. This is probably one of the quickest in its segment. I'm quite surprised, despite this car having a little less power than a Vios and weighing much more. The acceleration is pretty darn good. As for the handling, your body roll is not bad. It's a lot better than the Vios. If you're looking for a car that's similar to a Vios, but you want it just a little bit more sporty, this one is not bad. If there's anything I don't like about it, is that it only has like 4 speeds to choose from. I mean, in city driving, that wouldn't be a problem. However, if you do take it out for long journeys and you're going at motorway speeds, that could be a little bit of a problem. Now, over these slight twisties, the Reina is actually holding up pretty well. It doesn't have a big amount of body roll. Yes, it's still there, but we always have to go back to the benchmark of the Vios because it's really a much tighter car than the Vios. NVH in this car is the same thing. Compared to the Vios, again, it's a much better, it's a much more robust feeling car. You feel a lot safer in this one. When it comes to the noise, not so much. Yes, there are a lot of tire noise, but that's to be expected. But wind noise and all that, that's really not present. Vibration, honestly, not that much either. Harshness, it's a bit harder, right? It's a bit harder than a Vios, but for most of your daily driving, it's not bad. Despite the Hyundai Reina weighing around half a ton more than the Toyota Vios, this one right here in the automatic one can return around 8.5 kilometers per liter in the city and upwards of 22 kilometers per liter on the highway. Now, if you want to get a brand new Reina, it goes for around 733,000 pesos. But if you go on over to Automart.ph, they're actually selling a couple of Reinas, including this particular one right here. And this one even has the 3-day love it or hate it policy. So you buy it from them, if you don't like it, you return it to them. And they even allow you to test drive the car at the place of your choosing. So if you're looking for a slightly used Reina with only around 24,000 kilometers on the clock, head on over to Automart.ph website. I'll put their link down below in the description. So you want to upgrade your aging vehicle to make it look a little bit more modern and at the same time add a little bit more safety. What's the best way to do that? You upgrade to LED headlights. And today here, my friend's 1995 Tamaraw FX will receive this treatment. We're going to use this Pegasus Lights Attack V2 LED headlights from automotive.com, and we're gonna see just how much brighter the light can be. So here, driving the Tamaraw FX, and as you can see, the stock headlights are doing a really poor job of illuminating the road. And even if you use like high beam right now, it's not doing a great job out of it. Now we've installed automotive.com's Pegasus Lights Attack V2 LED headlights. Even with just the low beam, it is so much brighter than stock. And if you put on high beam, not only is it brighter, but it goes way further than stock. So if you're looking for something to upgrade the look of your car and also to increase your safety, just go to automotive.com and check out their line of LED headlights and other car accessories.